Alright, what we have here is Ruger SR22 pistol. It is a good little 22 shooter, and I'm getting ready to take it apart and clean it. Let's move this box out of the way. I've not had any issues with mine. It functions just fine with all ammo I've tried in it. It's fun to shoot. I like it. I haven't taken this apart for a while, so I might have to refer back to the manual if I can't remember how to do it. So you pop that down. Pull that off. There. Simple enough. There's the lube that's still in there from the last time I cleaned it. So I might not have to clean it too much. There's the recoil spring and guide rod. The big end goes forward and not back here, so you can put it in this way, but you'll see it could actually come over that lip at the end. So you've got to put the small end here. Big end goes forward. There's not much else to clean it, to taking it apart. You can see the grip comes off, but I mean, you don't really have to take that off to clean it. It's a pretty simple gun, really. So we're going to clean it up with a little bit of break-free CLP. I'm just going to spray that in. Okay, we got enough in there, I think. Spray a little bit down in there. Let it clean. Let it soak while we're sitting here. And while it's doing its magic, I'm going to just wipe everything off real good. This doesn't really even need nothing, but I've got some of that left on my fingers. I'll just wipe it down and good. Put that over there. The magazine's pretty clean, doesn't really need anything. I'll just wipe it off with this rag. Alright, set it over there. Alright, so now I'm going to take my nylon bristle brush, and I'm just going to clean in here with it. Make sure I'm getting everywhere. Move this over here. Pretty straightforward. You just want to clean everything good. You can see there's dirt coming off of there. Just cleaning it. Clean the outside a little bit. Probably doesn't need it as much as the inside, but need all the areas you can. This little brush has this brush has one on the other end too, so it's good for these little guns that have small reach areas. I can't get in there though. Clean it out good. And we'll do the same thing here. And I'm just going to run it all over into this. And I probably had too much grease on it, or lube on that anyway. I'll just clean the outside of the barrel here. And the barrel does stay on the gun. It's a fixed barrel. Okay, so I don't know where my 22, I think I do have a bore brush somewhere for it, but I can't find it. So I'm going to use a bore snake, which works just as well with bore. You just put it through. This is for the 22, and you can probably run it through more than once, but I'm probably just going to run it through this one time. See how it looks. It actually came out pretty clean just after that one pull through, but I'm going to do it a couple more times actually. I'm going to take a little bit of this and put right on where the brush part is of the bore snake, and then I'm going to take a little bit of this frog lube and put right onto the end, so that as it works through the bore, it'll lubricate it nicely. Okay, now let's do a couple more passes and we'll be done. Run that through. I could have even done this without taking the gun apart. That's one of the beauties of the bore snakes, is that you can run them through without taking the gun completely apart. You're just running them through the bore. You can run it with the just with the slide lock back, or like the chamber open on a rifle or whatever. And this will work with a rifle or a pistol. Alright, so we run that through, and then I'm going to take this and clean the feed ramp in the front of the barrel there. I'm going to take a Q-tip with a little bit of lube on here, and I'm just going to run it over that. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there, but I'm just going to run it over that feed ramp. And just really clean it off. Lube it up and make sure it's nice and clean. Trying to get that on video, but I don't know if it's making it or not. Alright. We'll run over some of these other spots too to make sure we don't have anything left behind. Alright, so now I'll just wipe down some of these areas. This gun's really simple to clean, and it's a 22, so I mean, I've even been known not to clean 22s for, especially ones that aren't like a Target model or something. I've been known not to clean them until they start malfunctioning, which may not be the best way to do it, but 22s are generally pretty good until they get real dirty. Then you got to kind of clean them up or whatever. But generally they're pretty reliable. I mean, you can, and I guess my whole point is most people don't use a 22 for self-defense, although I'm not saying you can't. Most people don't, so if it doesn't fire when you pull the trigger, it's probably just a target that's not getting shot instead of a person that you're trying to defend yourself from. So anyway, point is I was making is sometimes I don't clean them as often as I should. But anyway, this one's actually not too bad. I only put maybe 100 rounds through it the other day. It's probably the last time I shot it, shot a lot more through it before I cleaned it, but it only had about 100 rounds put through it yesterday. So I'm just wiping everything down now, wiping all the excess oil off as much as I can. I'm going to take one of these big rags now and do the same thing. That one had some frog lube impregnated on it that I'd done earlier with a different gun. So, and this gun has a really nice finish on it. It's a black. I don't know what you call it. It's not blued, I don't guess. It's because this is aluminum. It's really light. And it's got Ruger on there nicely, and you know, everything's in it's very good condition. I mean, it's machined well on the inside from what I can tell. I'm no expert, but seems to be in pretty good, you know, it's pretty good, well made. So we wipe everything down good. I'll throw some lube on the working parts. I'm going to take some of this frog lube. Just get some on a Q-tip, and I'm mainly going to put it on these rails right here. That's mainly where I want some. It's a little bit much. I'm going to put some on this rail. Just kind of working in as best you can without it flopping up like that, if you can keep from it. I don't know what all needs to be lubed in here. I'll just throw some lube down in there, because the way this frog lube works is when it heats up, it just kind of acts like a regular lubricant and kind of drains down wherever you need it at. And it'll heat up and then work its way down into those other parts. And it's actually, I think it's actually drawn to the heated surfaces. So it'll lube it up good once I start shooting it. I mean, it's pretty neat stuff. I like it quite a bit. All right, so now I'm going to take a little bit of lube again. I'm going to get me a clean cloth here. I'm going to take me just a little bit of frog lube, wipe on a clean cloth, and kind of rub it in. And I'm just going to kind of wipe it over everything. And I'll wipe most of that back off whenever I go to, after I put it together. After I put it back together, I'll wipe most of it back off. But this is I'm kind of putting it down as a protectant, because it is a cleaning, a lube and a protectant. So just kind of wipe it on the metal parts. I don't really put any on the plastic. I mean, some of the plastic stuff will get parts worked into it anyway. All right, so now we're going to put it back together. We take the barrel, actually. All right, so this is how I like to do it. Some people do it differently, but I like to put this part in first, and then put this part on top. Work it right in there. Wait, am I doing that right? Yeah. And then working on just like that. Push that back up. Okay, now check the function. Everything's functioning nicely. Mag release working. Hammer drop safety. Now notice that when it's got a magazine release or a mag safety on this gun. When you pull the trigger with the magazine not in it, it pulls, but it's like it's broken. The first time I worked on this gun, I thought, ooh, I just broke it because it wouldn't, you know, it wasn't springing back forward, because when you have the mag in and you have it on safety, it springs back forward, all right? And then of course when it's there, so. That's a pretty good little gun. The magazine sometimes doesn't want to seat without a lot of pressure, but I think that's just the way the gun's made. I know obviously when the slide's back locked open, it doesn't have any. Well, it's hard to say it doesn't have any problem, but I guess it's the same thing. And you know, I think you could probably take these base pads and maybe sand them down a little bit. I don't know, and that would help it seat easier. But I mean, it seats pretty good anyway, so I've never had any real problems with it. But all right, so that's how you clean and lubricate and disassemble and clean a Ruger SR22 pistol. I'll just wipe it down now with a clean cloth to get any excess off. You can see it's much nicer looking now. So there's the Ruger SR22 pistol. It's just a pleasure to shoot. I really enjoy shooting it. It you know, it's got all the kind of functionality of a full-size 22, even though it's probably about a third of the size of a full-size handgun, center fire. But you know, it has a lot of the same type of controls. The safety does go down instead of up to put it on safe, but that's kind of odd. But it has a nice little trigger on it. The single action pull anyway. I mean, it's set, you know, it's got a little bit of take up, but then it, see, there's the take up if you wanted to see that. Let's see, I can get this on here. There's take up. So it's got, I don't know, quarter to half-inch take up, and then the actual trigger pull, not too bad. But anyway, double action, of course, is like any other double action. It's got a. But anyway, I like the gun. I enjoy shooting it. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave comments, questions in the comments section. If you have any comments about the video, if you think I'm boring or whatever, tell me. I don't care. Have a good day. Thanks for watching.